Our first live look from the air after the plane plowed into a San Diego neighborhood this morning. Now, we told you about this earlier this morning on our streaming broadcast at 8 a.m., but you can see the destruction here. This is our camera. You can see some of the images here. Officials do say a number of people have died. The fatalities are believed to all be on board the plane. As of right now, it does not appear anyone on the ground was killed in this plane crash. But again, we have a little bit more information as to what happened here. The plane, the jet, is commonly used for business travel. It can carry up to 8 to 10 people on board. We do know that the NTSB, the FAA are on scene investigating the crash. This is a military housing complex here. We're told, but the Associated Press was told that it was foggy at the time that this jet crashed. You could barely see in front of you. We're not saying that that is the cause of this crash. It is very near the airport, but visibility had gotten down to about a half a mile. Low clouds, according to weather data. There was a news conference earlier. They did say that more than one fatality was on that plane. But again, we do not know how many people were on that plane. Recently, some of the new information that we're getting from FlightAware was that the plane originated on the East Coast. It had stopped in Wichita to refuel and had been in Wichita for about an hour and then took off. Now, at some point, it crashed and hit up to about 10 homes that were affected. The amazing part of this, that is one of the homes that was deeply affected by this. At one point, you saw jet fuel that had come from the plane as it crashed and just set the street on fire. A lot of the cars were on fire, we're told from witnesses. So the cars were primarily on fire. Amazingly, it appears as if everyone that was on the ground, this happened about 3:45 this morning, it appears as if everyone on the ground was able to safely evacuate. A lot of people that lived in this neighborhood went knocking on the doors to get people to get out of there. We've seen video captured by neighborhood residents who saw flames, and they captured video of all these cars on fire. That person had told of a boom that woke people up, and he was knocking on doors and getting people out. We've been quoted. There was a commanding officer of the naval base in San Diego said that the neighborhood is one of the largest military housing units in the world. So a lot of military families will be impacted by this. That is the area that you're seeing there. So this is a military community that are going to be deeply affected by this. Again, the most recent information that we're getting that is new as of this update is that according to FlightAware, this citation took off from Teterboro Airport just outside of New York City, stopped in Wichita, Kansas for about an hour to fuel up, then took off. The pilot announced on the radio that the plane was about 3 miles from a planned landing at Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport, but there was no sign of any problem. No emergency was declared. The airport does have a control tower. It was not staffed in the overnight hours, so the pilots basically announced their intentions to other pilots listening on what's called common traffic advisory frequency. So no planned emergency, but again, we're under the impression that visibility was low at this point. So that is going to be something that's investigated. But you're seeing from these live images the devastation in this neighborhood. It is quite amazing there's not more damage to homes. Some homes do have damage, but we are under the impression that as it landed, witnesses talk about the jet fuel from the Cessna just was on fire through that neighborhood. And I've not seen from our camera wreckage of the plane at this point. I've been reading some of our notes here. So the plane likely went into that house there. So it does look as if the plane wreckage mostly is in that house, but there will be FAA, NTSB that are going to be investigating this. It will develop throughout the story, but if you notice, there's not a lot of activity as far as people. They're not gathered about looking around because most of them evacuated early hours, 3:45 this morning. They evacuated. We're going to try to connect with our crew that is in the helicopter. We do have Marcel Melanson there, so we're going to try to talk to him later on this morning. Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. We'll continue to keep following this. We'll continue to see what we can find out. We refueled down there about 3 minutes away from this, so there is an airport for us very near there. So we're just now getting above this scene. We wanted to break into our stream to try to get you these images as quickly as we can. And as we're looking, you can see that the cars that would have been parked in the street have been knocked about. And so I do believe we have Marcel now. And Marcel has also a background with LA County Fire. So he's going to know a little bit about how the response would have been from a firefighting perspective, from a first responder perspective, and what they're going to be doing in these hours after something like this happened. And Marcel, having been able to refuel, knowing where the airport is, I mean, what is your first take as you come over this scene and see this from a first responder's perspective?
Philip, first thing I could say is just devastating, right? At 3 a.m., a plane comes into a number of houses. I'm going to tilt up a bit. You can see here's the airfield. So it was on the approach path to this airfield, and just short of the airfield is where this accident occurred. And San Diego Fire, first units responded and got on scene within minutes. So they dealt with a number of problems that they were. You know, it's a dual-pronged approach here. You have fire, you have a plane crash. You also have the rescue attempt for the people in these houses, because at that time of morning, you would figure people would be home asleep. So you have to put the fire out. You have to have a coordinated effort to do rescues that are needed, and as well as the devastation, the way it looks like it's spread down the street here, it looks like the fuel was probably running down the street, just catching these cars on fire as it came into contact with it. So it's a complete city block where you have strewn across this whole area. And their initial response was about 130 firefighters, a third alarm from San Diego Fire and Rescue. So they had a number of specialized resources on scene for an aircraft approach or aircraft crash, as well as a normal structure firefighting force, as well as paramedics and things like that.
Well, Marcel, we're going to have to break away because we do have to do a couple of things for ABC7. I did notice at the end of the street, it looked like they had a barrier across the street almost to stop fuel from advancing along. That would be a hazmat spill. That right there, it looks like, you know, you mentioned fuel going all the way. So that too, when you think about fuel, you have a hazmat situation as well. So we're going to break away from these live images. Marcel, thank you very much. We're going to stop our stream here, take a little housekeeping on ABC7, but this has been a live look at the plane crash and the damage down near San Diego. We will be back, and stay with us here on our 24/7 streaming channel. I'm Philip Palmer. Thank you for watching.